So-called chemical exposure that sent a Sacramento County Sheriff's deputy to the hospital back in October of 2023. Thanks for joining us at 4.
Here, Brody.
Gonzalez.
And I'm Hannibal. Our crews were there. This happened at the Sheriff's Office Central Station on 65th Street off of Florin Road. New documents show the deputy overdosed on drugs that he smoked on purpose.
KCRA3 investigates Lizzie Mitri to explain why we're just getting these details now, more than a year later, Lizzie.
Right, Lisa, we've combed through hundreds of pages of internal affairs documents. We've gone through video. They all come from the transparency website for the sheriff's office. And we do want to warn you, some of this might be tough to see. The deputy involved did recover, but this report says this has been hard on his fellow deputies, especially those who found him first. Internal affairs documents show this all started the night of October 24th, 2023, when Deputy Marvin Morales conducted a, quote, suspicious subject stop. The report says he recovered drugs in a piece of tinfoil that he thought was meth. We now know it was fentanyl. He cited the suspects and a few hours later, body camera video shows another deputy finding Morales passed out on the floor of a bathroom stall. The report says Morales smoked the drugs out of a pipe, then collapsed. The other deputy administered multiple doses of Narcan, and Morales was taken to the hospital where he became conscious again. And the report notes this caused emotional distress to Deputy Morales' partners who responded to save his life. There was a large-scale emergency response, which you can see in this video when our crews were on scene. The report says while Deputy Morales was at the hospital, samples of his hair tested positive for meth, which they say typically indicates chronic use. In January of 2024, the sheriff's office notified the deputy it planned to fire him for doing drugs on the job, not following booking procedures for drugs, and for lying. But before the department could fire him, Morales resigned. He said it was for, quote, personal reasons. Back to you.
So, Lizzie, what?
Yeah, bro, that's just fucked up. I mean, so clearly he's on the titi, but like, he just so happens to come up. It's probably routine for him. He just be taking it from maybe the evidence room or taking it from stops or whatever. But then this case, it was that fentanyl, and he rolled that wrong dice, bro. You know what I mean?
You know what? I didn't even think about that, big bro.
Because they said they found when they tested his hair, it tested positive. You know, he had meth, and you only test your hair if you're a heavy user, right? So he's definitely on the titi. But then he goes ahead and fucking.
Now, I understand that, but what I was saying is, and what you brought up is that he's taking shit from people, and that's what he did. He did take that and didn't put it in the evidence thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. I want to let bro go and write a citation, and that's the thing. If he let him go and wrote a citation for having a minimal amount on him, or you know what I mean, or if they did take,
it could have been a lot. But then he said, "Oh no, you know, it's only a half thing, right?" And just kind of put the rest in his pocket.
100%. And it says that they were going to fire him just for only using drugs on the job. But that's the thing. How many of his cases has that motherfucker taken shit and pocketed at that shit? We've done a story where we just seen not too long ago the officer pocketing the money and got
all the bread
and got caught right there at the station. You know what I mean? So by you saying him taking that, and even though I just watched it, bro, I never thought about has this motherfucker done this multiple times, and he's already a basehead. You know,
because see, and he's probably going to his old faithful bathroom area where he's just gonna get loaded real quick, and it just so happens it's that wrong one, bruh.
It's the wrong run.
He over there blowing clouds and shit, and it just collapses. And that dude was frantic. Oh no, man! He's trying to slap him up. Come on! They said they hit him with the Narcan a few times over. The Narcans they go right under the chin, or I guess there's other ways too, but. My girl was saying because she's had to administer a Narcan several times before at her work because, you know, she worked with fucking addicts and shit. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah. My sis is a probation officer, and she's told me that one of her motherfucking co-workers, just by touching it, got it in his bloodstream, and they had to administrate that shit. Just by touching it on everything. Real talk.
The story I'm about to say is alleged, right? So allegedly, you know, the homie looking for the malls, right? Boom, woo, gets the malls from a trusted source. But then, like a smart motherfucker, he goes and tests it. And he says, hey, bro, a couple of them woo-wops had that fentanyl in there. And then I said, well, shit, goddamn. You know what I mean? You know, just don't fuck with them. He said, well, just only a few of them did, right? Then I'm hitting them back. Hey, bro, you know what I mean? Bruh said, you know, woo, woo, woo. You know what I mean? He said, oh, no, they straight. I popped them. He's like, I popped the fentanyl ones. He's like, they good. I was like, damn. I'm like, it's a dangerous game out there. Kids, don't be careful with the drugs out there, period, because these motherfuckers that are higher up, they're chopping them down with the fentanyl. They don't give a fuck about none of y'all. You know what I mean?
Don't give a fuck. And we see it right here, like how I let off before we even seen the video. It don't matter what color you is. It don't matter where you work at. You know what I mean? Et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers like to relax. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Like, bro, this dude is the police. He's on company time. You know what I mean? Thinking that it's
he's the sheriff.
He's the sheriff on company time, playing with some shit that he thought was some shit he liked to do off of work, and fucked around and almost,
almost died.
100%, bro.
And he OG status too. I bet you he hit that shit, was holding it in, doing one of those, and they just, oh no.
Yeah.
I hate to joke about that shit because it's terrible, but like, I'm from a city that those are the main two. People's on the TT, or they looking for that fentanyl, bro. Like, that shit's crazy. Like, they want that shit.
They want that shit, bro. 100%.
Because it's highly addictive too, though. You know what I mean? So it's like, if they don't have it, they're gonna die, like legit. Like, and I'm not even saying that by joking, because they'll withdraw, and them motherfuckers could die for real when you withdraw. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like, you literally gotta be in like there's, and for all y'all out there that if you unfortunately have an addiction problem, when you trying to get off, you gotta go get help. You can't just be like, I'm gonna kick it at the crib and kick the cup. I knew people on lean when they tried to kick the cup, bro. It was bad. They're dying.
100%, bro.
You know what I mean? That's heroin.
That's an opioid.
Fucking cut.
It's an opioid on everything. You get addicted to that shit real fast, bro, and it be hard, bro. 100%. You know what I mean? And like how we was talking backstage on the fans' perspective. Shout out to Slim, big bro, 100%, man. We was talking about how the oxys. I didn't know the oxys, motherfuckers, was really. I never knew that until they were talking about that shit. You know what I mean?
They started the manufacturers, the pharmaceutical companies started manufacturing it where you couldn't break that thing down and burn it. It wouldn't melt down now. So it's like,
never knew that. Yeah.
So, and then because of that, though, this is how crazy it works. Now all of a sudden you had all these smokers that can't get their fix. You know what they did? They went to the boy. Because so then you just seen an uprise of boy usage. You feel me? Like,
right.
Yeah, that shit crazy.
It's crazy, bro. So glad that the officer was able to get woken up. You know what I mean? Hopefully this is a wake up call to go ahead and hit the stiff arm or hit the Heisman pose on the way that he likes to relax, you know what I mean, and get it together.
He got to get his shit together now, because there goes his retirement. There goes his.
No, he resigned.
Oh, he resigned. Oh, that's right. Okay, to preserve his shit. He said, I resigned for personal reasons. Yeah, because personally, I want to get my bread.
But see, they allow you, if you got a drug habit, your union can fight for you. But
they'll put you in the rehab.
Yeah, and see, this was on the job though, so I don't know how that shit go. You know what I mean? But they do. Your union will. You do got that type.
When you're licensed to carry a gun,
mm-hmm.
You can't. The moment you pee dirty on some shit, that's a crazy ass violation right there. Like,
yeah, but they class C, so he's been not getting tested.
Oh, word.
Right. Remember the hair.
You ain't lying. He got the meth all in his hair.
He's a chronic user, 100%. You know what I mean? So they must not be testing these dudes, because they only drive cruisers. Them is Class C licenses. You know what I mean? Now, if you driving big SWAT team shits, and the bigger the vehicle, like firefighters. I don't know exactly how they shit go, but if they driving them big old trucks, that's a Class A, Class B shit. Over there where I'm at, you know what I mean, you in the class A, class B, man, they pull your motherfucking ass in right when you show up.
You get any kind of fender bender or any kind of traffic woo-wop, they piss test you immediately.
Yeah, and they could do it randomly though.
Yeah.
When you got that type
of randomly.
100% facts. And then say like whatever the legal alcohol limit is for a class C, a class A, and a class B, that shit drop. You know what I mean? It's lesser for them. 100%. Them is facts. In the state of California for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
100%. They said you on the top, big bro. Bless you.